Hey there. Do you find yourself complaining often about things that seem out of your control? Maybe it's the traffic, the weather, or that never-ending to-do list. Here's a truth bomb. Complaining is one of the quickest ways to drain your happiness. But what if I told you there's a powerful way to stop? And that it has nothing to do with positive thinking or ignoring problems? Stick with me. We're diving into an ancient philosophy that can change the way you experience life. Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you complained and actually felt better afterward? Probably never, right? In fact, the more we complain, the worse we feel. It's like we're throwing fuel on the fire of frustration. And here's the kicker. Complaining not only affects our mindset, it also keeps us stuck in a cycle of negativity. But here's the thing. Complaining is natural. It's a reaction, not a choice. We all do it, sometimes without even thinking. But what if we could break that cycle? What if we could transform that knee-jerk response into something far more powerful? This is where Stoic philosophy comes in. And trust me, the Stoics have a lot to say about complaining. Stoicism teaches us that our happiness is not determined by what happens to us, but by how we react to what happens. The Stoics understood something that most of us don't. Complaining about life's challenges doesn't change the situation, it only adds suffering. Imagine this. The famous Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Think about that for a moment. Your reaction is where you have control. Here's the thing. Complaining doesn't just affect your mood, it rewires your brain. Every time you complain, you're training yourself to see the world as a series of obstacles rather than opportunities. You start to feel like everything is out of your control, that the universe is against you. But in reality, the only thing out of control is your own mindset. The more you focus on what's wrong, the more you reinforce a habit of negativity. Your mind begins to look for problems, not solutions. And before you know it, complaining becomes a reflex. You might even start to see things as worse than they really are because your brain is now programmed to find flaws. So, how do we stop? How do we break this cycle of complaining and reclaim our peace of mind? Let me share a few Stoic lessons that can help. 1. Practice negative visualization. Sounds counterintuitive, right? But this is one of the most powerful Stoic exercises. It involves imagining the worst-case scenario. What if the thing you're complaining about, the traffic jam, the rude person, the missed opportunity, didn't happen? What would life be like if it were taken away? When we stop and acknowledge how much worse things could be, we become more grateful for what we have. Suddenly, that little inconvenience doesn't feel so bad. The Stoics believed in preparing for adversity, not by focusing on what could go wrong, but by developing resilience to whatever comes our way. 2. The Dichotomy of Control. Another brilliant Stoic principle. The Stoics divided everything into two categories: what is in our control and what is not. You can control your attitude, your response, and your actions, but you can't control the weather, other people's behaviors, or the economy. Complaining about things outside your control is like yelling at the rain to stop. It's a waste of energy. Instead, focus on what you can change. 3. Reframe your perspective. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This is the power of reframing. Instead of seeing obstacles as problems, the Stoics saw them as opportunities for growth. A difficult situation? Great. It's an opportunity to practice patience, resilience, or wisdom. A challenge becomes your teacher, not your enemy. So, here's my challenge to you. The next time you feel that familiar urge to complain, stop and take a deep breath. Ask yourself, is this in my control? How can I reframe this to turn it into an opportunity for growth? When you embrace the Stoic mindset, you'll start to see that most of what you complain about is just noise. And the more you let go of that noise, the more space you create for peace and happiness. Remember, complaining is a habit, but so is gratitude, so is resilience, so is positivity. And it all starts with you. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and share this with anyone who needs a little Stoic wisdom in their life. Let's spread more peace, less complaining. Until next time, take control and take a breath.